The Tampa Bay Buccaneers began OTAs this week with their first practice that was open to the media today. And unlike previous segments of the offseason program where guys are relegated to mere classroom instruction and positional drills, they actually get a chance to line up offense versus defense. Still no pads though, but they're just a little bit closer to playing some actual football. Now, the main attraction this offseason has been Jameis Winston. Unfortunately, though, he wasn't here today. Instead, he is at the NFL rookie premiere, and Mike Glennon was getting first-team reps on offense. Not a surprise, though, for the Bucs. They knew this was coming, and because of that, they actually doubled up on his workload yesterday to account for his absence today. And speaking of that, after practice, head coach Lovie Smith said that yesterday was Winston's best practice yet. He was lining up against the first-team defense. He's appearing comfortable. He's confident, at least getting more and more confident with that playbook. Might have something to do with the fact that he's been bringing it to Drake concerts of all places. I thought that was really interesting. I'm sure you guys saw that on social media earlier this week. Now, I also had a chance to catch up with Gerald McCoy after practice to kind of gauge where the progress is going on defense. A lot of moving parts with that defensive line, and I had asked him, do you get a little bit bored this time of year, the fact that you can't really hit anybody? And he said no. He feels that this is actually a very important part of the offseason program because this is a chance for the defensive line to learn some nonverbal communication. Going back to last year, he felt like they didn't communicate well enough along the defensive line, and it's really hard to move as one when you can't do that. So right now, he's picking up on some of the nonverbal cues and just some of the playing styles of a Henry Melton and a George Johnson and some of those new pieces. On another note, two guys that I saw at practice today had some minor injuries, nothing to be alarmed about, but Ali Marpet has a tweaked hamstring, and also Mike Evans too. He had an ice bag around his hamstring, tweaked it as well. That's worth keeping an eye on because if you remember last year during OTAs, he tweaked his hamstring and it did limit him a few times throughout camp. So head coach Lovie Smith said, though, that he doesn't believe it's something to be concerned with. Stick with us at sportstalkflorida.com for tons more of OTAs coverage. We have coverage from the Bucs, we have coverage from the Jags, and the Dolphins too. With Sports Talk Florida, I'm Jenna Lane.